What is a golden calf? It is a metaphor for a type of importance that someone will place on a certain thing in an ideological or an idolatrous way. It is a way as to which a person worships or puts something over God. And this is how makeup is related to it. But I know it has something to do with power, control, the propping up of oneself. So in a way, I can say that it is the worship of oneself, making one to godhood status, becoming your own God, having your own set of standards, having your own morality, having your own truth. All this stuff, me, what I want to do, my autonomy. These are the common rebuttals I have been getting in my comments. It is always about me. I want to feel good. I don't do it for you. I do it for me. The woman's insecurity. How is the woman insecure? Deep down inside, most women know they can get abducted by a man at any given time. All it takes is a couple of steps too far off in the wrong direction at night. All it takes is a little bit of unsupervision, a little bit of lackluster attention, being aware of your surroundings, and you can be abducted at any time. Do not let the insulated Western life that we live in fool you. Women inherently and instinctively know that they are in immediate danger in a lot of cases. This is why they group up. This is why they flock together when they go to clubs. This is why they're highly protective of their friends when they're in groups. It's because women know that there is imminent danger a lot of times. What else do women know? Women know that they are not physically as capable as men. Your average man can dominate physically any woman that he comes into contact with. The majority of them. The Ronda Rouseys and the freaking women who know how to kickbox. Okay. Those are very, 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 very small portions of women. Your average woman will be dominated by the average man. She can be abducted. She can be assaulted by the average man. Women feel crazy sometimes. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Come on, ladies, bear with me. Women feel crazy sometimes. They know there's a point in the time of the month where they're not all there. They got their emotions. They're going to and fro. They're this way and they're that way. Women know a lot of times that they don't really know what they want. Women know that they are the emotional sex, right? Okay. So all this insecurity on top of the fact that you were taught this as a kid, the woman is protected in a way as she's a daughter. The father protects her, overprotects. The father is very, very territorial of his daughters. The parents are very territorial of their daughters, more so than the son. So all this culminates, this enculturation culminates a certain type of insecurity. The insecurity of not feeling in control of the situation a lot of times. So what is the woman's response? And what becomes her golden calf? She wants to exert and she wants to assume control. She wants to get control. And what does this look like? It looks like dominating other people, not physically, but mentally or emotionally or sexually. It looks like getting control from admiration, validation, attention. She wants to control men and she wants to control situations because she inherently feels insecure. And how does this manifest? Makeup is just one of the ways. A woman doesn't feel comfortable in her own skin because another enculturated thing for a woman is to not feel good about herself. She has to feel like she's less than a lot. She has to feel like that woman in the magazine, she's not as good looking. So what does she do? She compensates and she doesn't feel presentable in an interview without makeup. She doesn't feel presentable in a first date without makeup. She doesn't feel presentable going outside if there's a pimple. She has to conceal it. She has to cover it up. She is not secure with her own body, her own face. She, therefore, tries to control that aspect. And here is how it's the golden calf. It is something she worships. In the Bible, it talks about how you cannot serve two masters, for you will serve one and hate the other. So it goes to say that even though by strict definition terms, to be honest is not to cheat. To be honest is not to manipulate. So therefore, you should not manipulate with your mascara and your, what is that thing called? The puffing thing, and your concealer and your foundation. You're manipulating. But women will sacrifice the morality and the virtue of things in order to control. See? She worships herself to an extent that the golden calf was worship in the Old Testament. It is something that she replaces for God. The woman will sacrifice principle in doing what's right in order for what? What is her tried and true explanation? I don't do it for y'all. I do it for myself. I do it to make myself look good. I do it for me. We got you. We hear you loud and clear, boo-boo. We understand. What you're saying is, in reality, not what you're saying, but the reality of how things are playing out by the textbook, by Webster's dictionary. In reality, you are not secure enough, so therefore you practice insecurity. The insecurity is, I have to put on this mask. Now, it gets a lot more complex because the woman's idol, the woman's golden calf, what she worships, is a version of herself that in reality she can never obtain. You are never going to get to be as pretty as you make yourself out to be because it is literally physically impossible. Despite, even going to the extreme of physical manipulation and literal augmentation and artificial enhancement to the extreme, let's just take it to the general term. Most women aren't really getting plastic surgery. Generally, women are trying to fake how they look. They're spending hundreds of dollars a month to maintain a facade for their boyfriend, for their boss at work, to their peers when they go out, to patrons at the club that they visit. They are maintaining a false sense of self, which is in fact a false sense of reality. But once again, the woman, due to her insecurities that she's aware of, due to the lack of strength from a man, due to the lack of influence, she wants to gain influence with sex. She wants to gain influence with validation and looking pretty. Her perfectionist controlling methods that she's going to use to make herself feel better. This is what she does. And this is how it's the golden calf, because it is always at the sacrifice of morality. It is never humbling yourself and being real and honest in the real you. It is always, I must fake me. I must conceal me. There was a woman just today on my comments. She was like something by the way of, I wear makeup and I hardly wear makeup. And when I do, it's just to get rid of some of the pimples I have. This woman, heart goes out to you, but I want to give you some criticism. You're not self-aware in this area because the product you're putting on that pimple is literally called concealer, but you're going to say it's not concealing. The real you. Let me give you an example. Do you guys see the blemishes on my skin? Look at it. Teeth ain't really that clean. I've been flossing a lot actually lately, but I am who I am, and I can stand on my own too and be comfortable with it. Now, I'm not trying to say that I'm better than you. I'm just trying to encourage you and let you know that this is possible. But if I was to conceal the blemishes, I would show you that I'm insecure. I would show you that I don't feel comfortable on camera until I make sure that there isn't a blemish and that the lighting is perfect and all this, and that no one can see the imperfections in my skin. It is neurotic. It is pathological. It is crazy. It becomes a self-inflicted prophecy because you feel so unpretty that you try and make yourself pretty, which makes you depend on that version of prettiness, which is actual faking, lying, dishonesty. In return, do you think that has a positive or a good outcome for your self-esteem in the long run? Of course not, because you become dependent on it. It becomes a crutch. This is why a lot of women can't leave the house. They can't show their boyfriend what they actually look like without that makeup. But there are further consequences that I've got into in other videos. I'm gonna make more about it because I'm telling you guys right now, I can keep. I'm gonna and in fact, I'm gonna keep talking about this stuff until one of these videos goes viral and it really starts to, make a little bit of an impact in the YouTube space because for two reasons. Women should really start to focus and explore on the positive, the healthy, the natural, the moral alternatives to beautification. And men should really have the veil lifted from their eyes of all the 8s who actually are really 6.5s, of all those pretty women, to all those women who you thought were pretty, but when you take all that makeup off, when you take up all that makeup off, they're not even really worth being nervous about. These are women that are very, very insecure, and you should feel sorry for these types of women. As a matter of fact, you should try and convince these women of a better way. But more importantly, you should run from the women who don't and who always want to hold on to their calf, hold on to their power, hold on to their own sense of secureness, which is actually insecurity personified. So, yeah, thanks for watching the video. Y'all take care.